Brought to you by DK Audio.
DK Audio presents Great Cities, the stories behind the world's most fascinating places, by DK, read by Tim Rumboll. Introduction. Every seaman is not only a navigator, but a merchant and also a soldier. Sir William Petty, English economist, mid-17th century. The skyscraper and the 20th century are synonymous. The tall building is the landmark of our age. Ada Louise Huxtable, architecture critic, 1982. The problem is this: how to make our garden city experiment the stepping stone to a higher and better form of industrial life. Ebenezer Howard, The Garden Cities of Tomorrow, 1902. Cities have been at the heart of human life since their first appearance 7,000 years ago. These centers of political, economic, and cultural power continue to shape the world we live in today. Cities are the engines of human history. Within them, great buildings and artistic movements have arisen. Vital scientific discoveries and fortunes have been made, and political leaders have emerged who went on to wage wars and win empires. All these achievements have been fueled by the labour, grit, and ingenuity of the ever-growing ranks of city dwellers. Today, around 55% of us live in urban areas. The very largest, such as Tokyo, New Delhi, and Shanghai, have over 20 million inhabitants, more than the entire global population in 5000 BCE. At that point, humanity had only just started its journey from small, widely dispersed groups of hunter-gatherers to the global megacities of today. Agriculture and the first cities. Agriculture first developed in a crescent of fertile land centered on Mesopotamia around 10,000 BCE. People in South Asia, China, parts of Africa, and the Americas subsequently discovered this transformative practice, which allowed areas to support larger populations and communities to produce a surplus of food beyond their immediate needs. It also made the Neolithic peoples who practiced it less mobile, as they were now tied to tending and defending their fields. Specialists began to appear, such as craftsmen who made pottery for the storage of agricultural produce, and jewelry from bone, wood, stone, or horn for the richer classes who were emerging in the increasingly sophisticated villages. By around 7000 BCE, the villages had begun to turn into towns, such as Çatalhöyük in what is now southern Turkey. Its population of around 5,000 lived in tightly packed mud brick houses, followed a religion that centered on a bull cult and the veneration of the dead, and made a living from growing wheat and barley, herding sheep, and trading in obsidian obtained from a nearby volcano. Some 1,500 kilometers, 930 miles to the east, by around 4,500 BCE, true cities were emerging. The fertile land of Mesopotamia between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in modern-day Iraq supported a thriving agricultural population. The need to construct irrigation ditches to transport water from the great rivers and their tributaries to the fields encouraged large-scale cooperation. Some places, particularly those that were the centers of cults for local gods, became the bases for rulers who came to monopolize the distribution of the agricultural surplus. Specialist warriors defended the surplus and preyed on neighboring groups. Over time, the rulers grew powerful enough to erect the first monumental buildings, temples and palaces, and the latter became centers for the increasingly complex business of civic administration. Scribes employed the newly invented technique of writing to create archives documenting royal decrees. They also recorded the transactions that brought goods to an urban population that no longer farmed the land. Uruk, established around 4,500 BCE, was the first of the Mesopotamian cities, but it was surpassed by Ur, founded about 5 centuries later.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?